I came here to box. And I go, look, I'm willing to pay whatever you got to pay. Whatever you got to pay, I'll pay. He's like, oh, it's only like $5 a month or something. It was like some kind of just like donation fee or whatever it was then. And I go, he goes, yeah, you can go hit the bags or whatever if you want. So I have my gear, so I went over there, I started hitting the bags, and he comes over, he goes, maybe one of these guys I could talk him into holding mitts for you or something. And I was like, At the time, there was like 2 guys sparring in the ring. They weren't huge. I was probably bigger than them. I was bigger than them. But they looked like they knew what they're doing. And I was like, fuck this, man. And I walk up, I go, hey, can I spar? And the guy was like, no, you can't spar. And I go, why not? I go, do they fight? He goes, yeah, they're boxers. And I go, well, I came here to box. Like, can I spar too? And he said, no, can't spar. So I was like, all right, put my shit in my bag, fucking left, right? I go back to my buddy, I go, yo, I'm done with boxing. And he goes, try out one more spot. LA Boxing on Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. So I'm like, LA Boxing? I drive by that place every day. So, mind you, I didn't really have much experience with gyms.
Yeah.
Right? Like I had Eric's gym where when you walked into, when you sparred, you were fighting.
Yeah.
There was no sparring. You were going against killers, and it was survive. It was survival. Right? So there was no like da-da-da-da-da. Now, mind you, my only reference to a boxing gym now was all the Rocky movies, which I'm a Rocky freak.
Yeah,
right?
man.
I'm a Rocky freak. My dog's names are Rocky, Apollo, and Drago, right? Like,
damn.
I'm just that. I call them the Rocky documentaries because to me they're real.
Yes.
So the only real thing I'd ever seen was when Tommy Morrison went in the gym and started beating the shit out of these dudes, and then Rocky was like, you got a little bit on you, kid, I'll train you. So I'm going in there with this thing. So I go in there, the coach is like,
I love this.
We're working on a bag, right? There's like random people there, right? There's like a couple women and like some other dudes, in there. It's like fucking 6 a.m. I'm hitting the bag, da-da-da-da-da. All right, we're going to get in the ring, and they got like 2 groups in the ring. Well, we're going to spar. So, shit, to me, from my experience, that was, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, and I got to show this dude. I got to make him want to train me because all these other people shooting me down. So I just go in there and I'm throwing the hardest shots I could throw. It sounds like, a windmill is in there. Woo, woo, right? I'm damn near trying to kill these dudes.
Green light.
And then I look over and the coach was putting on his gear. And he was shorter but thicker. White dude. I won't say his name because he'd be embarrassed. Put the gloves on with the flames on him, and he had headgear with the flames on him. Shit, I didn't even have a mouthpiece.
Whoa.
Right? So I'm in there, and he comes in, he goes, all right, now you spar with me. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was like,
okay.
Finally.
Spar means fight.
Yeah.
Right? Spar means fight. And this guy he had also told me before, he's like, I'm the best with hands. I knew who Eric Paulson is. He's great on the ground, but I'm the best striker anywhere in Orange County, and whoop-de-whoop and all this, da-da-da-da-da. So I had sort of smelled bullshit anyways.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
shit.
I was like, okay, Tommy Morrison, here we go. Tommy Gunn, right? Let's go in there and fucking thug this dude up.
Yeah, with those flames, are giving us a hint who that was? The flames?
No.
Okay, so
It was not Tito Ortiz.
Okay,
Absolutely
so
not.
to
No,
make sure.
No, I'm taller than the guy. Tito's much taller than me. Two inches taller than me. But so this dude, now I didn't realize all these people in there weren't fighters. To me, everybody in the gym was a fighter. They were just fucking dudes that were there working out before they go to work.
Exercises.
Right? They might be catching a class before they go and sell insurance all day,
Yeah.
right?
Cardio boxing.
And I'm in here, this Doug who's depressed about football and trying to kill all these people, right? And trying to make a name for himself.
That is funny.
So this coach comes in here, boom, boom, boom. He falls down, gets back up, da-da-da, boom. 1 round, he's done.
Yikes.
Wow.
Now he takes his headgear off. He's like, all right, let's go outside. He made me run sprints in the parking lot,
Wow.
touching every line. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? I'm like, whatever. He goes, come back tomorrow and we'll really get a couple rounds in. I was like, all right. At this time, I knew he was bullshit, but I had nobody to train with at the time because Eric was out of town. So I'm like, at least I'm going to go back and beat this dude up, right, and get a couple rounds in. Show up the next morning, doors locked, nobody's there. I was like, all right, fuck it.
LA Boxing has left.
So that was my experience. So then what I did, I went and bought Boss Rutan's Big Book of Combats, and I did the shadow boxing in the sauna every night.
Wow.
Right? And that's how I got good. And then I eventually ended up meeting a brilliant boxing coach named Danny Zamora from the Santa Fe Springs Boxing Club. He trained me for a really long time, and then I met a guy named Joey Aguilar who trained Jasmine Singh.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I gave Jasmine her nickname.
No way.
The Punjabi Punisher. When she was coming up, she was in high school when she started training with us. And Joey was a great boxing coach of mine. And then, eventually I met Dale that was training Jake. But Jake had worked with other guys at the La Habra Boxing Club. And his dad would tell me, he goes, oh, yeah, this guy trains him at the La Habra Boxing Club. And I was like, fuck that dude.
Wow.
I didn't even know who it was. I just knew the name and what they said to me.
Sure.
Right? And there has been occasions that people have come into CSW, boxers that have come into CSW. Oh, we want to try out MMA. I'm like, oh, where do you train? Westminster Boxing Club. My ears perk up. And I go,
You're
well, now I got
undisciplined.
to fuck this dude up. Right? Because to me, it's all about payback. Like, you weren't the guy that said that, but, yo, fuck you. Right? Like, I'm going to kick your leg off. Right? Like, if I can lift you over my head and slam you on this mat, I'm going to show you right, that if anything, the MMA fighters that I've come into, for the most part, I mean, there's always exceptions, have been very disciplined people.
Sure.
The world of wrestling is unbelievably disciplined. You got these kids in the Midwest and here in California that are dedicated their whole lives to it.
That's right.
Right? And the training and the grind
That's
that they go through is unbelievable. Right? This whole notion that boxing, they're undisciplined, da-da-da, fuck those guys, right? Those boxing coaches are lucky that I found MMA and didn't start coaching boxing because I got to teach grappling and wrestling and conditioning, all that. They're lucky I didn't focus on boxing because those dudes would be staring at old pictures and old belts with dust all over them in their corner with no job, right? They'd have no fucking job if I came completely dedicated to boxing. And other coaches too, other coaches that are in MMA, guys like Chad George, right? Guys like Jake Bainey from Pinnacle, who I've started working with, who's an unbelievable dude, and we've teamed up a little bit. If those guys focused on just boxing, these guys would, dude, they'd be so retired, they'd be working at car washes and not doing shit around here, right? And them being like, boxing is, oh, well, you guys, your striking sucks. Yeah, well, okay, but we're talking about fighting,
Right.
right? Fighting, which is everything. Comparing boxing to MMA in the realm of fighting is like boxers are eating a bowl of soup with a fork, right? You ain't getting all the shit that's in there, right? We're getting all the shit that's in there because we're the complete fighting, right? You're getting maybe a noodle or something, but you ain't getting a sauce.
Yeah,
right?
man.
You ain't real fighters. You're limited, right? Yeah, you may got better hands than me, but if I get my hands on you, and I'm gonna get my hands on you, this shit's a wrap. And you want proof? James Toney.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah,
How
I
long
watched
did
it.
James Toney, who arguably, don't forget I love boxing, is one of the best defensive boxers of all time.
Ever.
Right?
Absolutely.
He is unbelievable. Multiple weight classes, multiple championships. How long did that motherfucker survive in MMA?
Not
You can
long
say
at
what
all.
you want about Conor McGregor, but that dude went a whole bunch of rounds with the
Yeah,
best fighter in the world.
absolutely.
Right? And I know there's differences there, and there's all kind of stuff, and all these boxing pundits are going to come out and say all kind of shit, but 1080 West Palm, that's my address, right? And anybody that thinks that boxing can outfight an MMA fighter, my doors are always open.
I will be there tomorrow.
Oh, that's a check my ass got get.
Look, and like I said, I love boxing, and I've met some unbelievable people in the world of boxing, right? But there's also a shit ton of corruption, right? The most corrupt sport. Hey, their coaches take 33% of their money. You're talking about putting your hands in your
All
pocket,
in America.
right? Oh, don't get me started on that shit.
Damn.
Touch me, I'll sue. Touch me or I'll sue.
Damn.
But I do love boxing, and I really appreciate the art. I can appreciate how fantastic these guys are at what they do, right? But it's not fighting, right? It's boxing. So don't give me your opinion on fighting, because you got no opinion on fighting. You got a 20% opinion about fighting. I'm gonna listen to 20% of the shit you say, right? Because 80% you don't got an opinion on.
Shots fired. I'm just saying. There you go.
They started the shit.
Yeah.
They said we were undisciplined.
That is true.
Now, all these guys didn't know that these two fucking individual guys said it, but it must have been a common thread if I couldn't
Yeah.
get trained by anybody.
That's nuts.
So, anyways, like I said, I love boxing, and it truly is my first true passion. But they need to slow down.
One of my favorite reference on one of the Rocky movies is when the two big guys are trying to help up Rock, and Rock's like, "This ain't a pie eating contest."
Yeah.
That was-
Yeah, man.
Hey, it's in a fighting contest.
Contest.
Yeah.
We don't need your help. When
That means
going out of
fighting
the bar.
Tommy Morrison
When
out
he
the
goes
bar.
to fight Tommy on the
And the
street.
guy's like, "Touch me, I'll sue. Touch
Yeah.
me, sue me for what?"
For what?
See, I know every movie, dog. I watch that movie night and day.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Yes.
So I got a quick question. So we alluded to a bit of the wrestling, and you were teammates of Shayna Baszler, Josh Barnett, former IWGP champion. I kind of want to get into the catch aspect of it. One of the biggest, I guess, catch wrestlers that transitioned to pro wrestling, and then in his later age into MMA was one Billy Robinson. Did you have
Absolutely.
any interactions with Billy Robinson?
No, I never got the chance to interact with Billy or Mr. Robinson, you should call him. But obviously, my teammates did. I know Josh spent a lot of time with him. I know Eric spent a lot of time with him. On my tours of England, when I've done my seminar tours, I've run into quite a few people that had a lot of experience with him. And when he toured out here, you know, a lot of our affiliates have had the opportunity to train with him. And definitely something I regret missing the opportunity to do. You know, you watch all of his old videos, and he's just so mean and nasty. You know, and it's just that's the part of grappling I love. That's the part of catch I love. It's like, you know, and it definitely, those lessons definitely got passed on to me through Eric, right, and even Josh being my training partner for all those years, right. Like it rubbed off on me, but I did not have the chance to meet like any of those legends, you know. But you know, you read about them and learn about them, and the Gotch, and you know, every Farmer, and you know, there's just so many guys. But definitely Billy Robinson is one regret that I have, that I never had the opportunity.
Is there any particular training partner, you mentioned Josh a lot, that really drove you to your best? Because there's always that one guy that, you know, you're just grinding and then taking it to the next level, almost like a big brother or little brother that you're just grinding the shit out of.
I've had so many guys have came in my gym. I spent a lot of time, obviously, with Josh, like I said, who helped out my career a ton. Probably, I mean, without sounding corny, it was Eric, because way back in the day when I first started, we didn't have many students. Mm-hmm. So there was, and I tell my guys, my fighters, this all the time. The Eric you see now is the coach, the legend. But when I started with him, he just got done fighting, and he still had one more fight in him. So there would be a lot of times that I would go to this little dungeon gym, our second gym, with a spray painted orange door, right, and dead rats underneath our spring floor, right, and the walls spray painted in the worst camouflage you ever did, and we would just, he'd be like, put your gear on, and we'd spar for 3 hours. We had no water fountain, we had nothing, and it was him beating the shit out of me from minute one till he decided time was up.
Wow.
Right? And those hours of rolling with him, it was like, it would be like a cat playing with a mouse. Wow. And that's what it was like. But then there's guys that I had really good rounds with. There was a guy named Justin Levens back in the day.
Yeah, I know Justin Levens. Jeez.
Justin passed
That's
away.
Heavy, man.
Justin and I were great sparring partners. I got a guy on my team who's still on my team to this day,
Right.
Maurice Doucette, Little Mo. He was, to this day, he's still one of my favorite sparring partners. I talked about Jamie Fletcher. There have been so many guys that have really added to me. I can't say that any of them have been my nemesis, you know, but, you know, it's just, there's too many to name, you know. Babalu and Josh, Hector Lombard, Jamie Fletcher, and Maurice Doucette are probably the guys I learned, and Bisbing. And Bisbing and I spent a little bit of time together training, so.
That's a heavy list, man.
Yeah, and you have Mark Munoz came in, and King
Mark.
Mo, and, I mean, there's just a list. James Thompson back in the day.
Wow.
Debt Collector.
Yeah.
I mean, the list is too big, you know. I mean, it's a who's who of MMA.
Wow.
So, and it's all because Eric, because everybody wanted to train with Eric.
Yep.
Right. If you had an opportunity to talk to him and meet him, you'd be like, "This is the nicest guy I ever met in my life."
Sure.
And he is the Vince Lombardi of MMA.
Wow.
Right.
Even traditional martial arts people such as Dan Inosanto.
Oh,
you know?
I mean, yeah. I mean, come on, Eric. You know, Eric comes from that lineage of Guru Dan, and to this day, Guru Dan is on the mats,
Right,
still grappling,
Wow.
still rolling, still teaching, doing seminars. I mean, it doesn't get better than Guru Dan Inosanto. It does not get better than that.
And having a lineage directly to Bruce Lee.
Right.
The art itself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it feels pretty special at the end of the day to be tied into that kind of lineage, and definitely something that and then I know that my guys, they feel pretty special about it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, they should. That's keeping it real as best as you can. The fighting sport is one thing, but the art side of it, you know, the martial art.
The martial arts side of it, and that's important.
So, real quick, so to catch you guys in your social medias, real quick. Adam Woods.
According to Woods on everything, Facebook, Instagram, or the Book of Faces, whatever. I'm
Dondo.
there.
Dondo, the Gym Crasher, check it out, and our Gym Crasher Dojo, 12,000 Firestone Boulevard in Norwalk.
And Ben Jones, where can we catch you on your social medias?
Just Ben Jones on Facebook. I have a fan page too, but I don't use it that much. On Instagram, it's the Badger Jones, and then I think it's the same on Twitter, but I don't use Twitter anymore. I'm too old. Once you get in your 40s, you shouldn't be using Twitter anymore, unless you're Donald Trump, right?
Apparently, yeah, that's a thing. That's totally a thing. No, if there was a mission statement for your kind of guidance of CSW in this incarnation, what would you say that would be? Like what you're looking for in fighters, what you bring to the fight game, and where CSW, when it's all said and done, its place in not only martial arts but mixed martial arts.
I have a goal, and it may be a very lofty goal, but I've never been really good at not setting goals that weren't unattainable. I have no want to achieve a goal that I think is achievable. I want to be the best coach in the sport of MMA. I want to bring CSW and to the forefront. I want to bring, but all that work that Eric did before his time and doesn't get recognized for now, I want to bring that to the forefront. Right? I want everybody in the world to know that CSW is the best fighting style out there, bar none. And I don't want to do it by talking about it. I want to do it by my fighters going out there and earning it. You will never go to a fight and have a CSW guy fight and be like, that was not an entertaining fight. Win, lose, or draw, my dudes are going to fight. And they're not going to get tired. They're going to go out there. And some of the guys, they may not be the best well-rounded guys, but they're going to go out there and they're going to fight their ass off.
Damn.
Right? And I want to take all this. I want the skulls of all these coaches on my wall. Just pictures of all of them with black X's through them because I already done beat all them. Right? That's what I want. I'm not, and it sounds cocky and it sounds arrogant, but look, if I didn't want that, why would my guys want to train with me?
Right.
Right? If I
Absolutely.
didn't want that for them, right? I don't want to be recognized as I don't really want it for me, right? And I don't really say like, if you come to me, I'll make you a world champion. That's not it. What I believe is, let me help you achieve what the most you can achieve, right? For yourself. But let me help guide you in this thing, right? And if they listen and they do it, I think we can achieve some pretty special things out there.
Damn. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, all right, folks. I guess we're pretty much coming to the hour, right? Anything last words, real quick, before we shut
I'm
the show?
just amazed and blown away, and I know that we could take this another day, but I thank you for coming because it's an inspiration to hear everything you have to say. I
appreciate
definitely
it, man.
loved it.
I've watched watched the shows before.
Cool.
I really appreciate the opportunity to
Hell
come
yeah.
on here and talk a little bit and really pump my guys up on my team. Thank you to my
Love that.
team. You guys are fucking amazing. I can tell you every day, but I just want everybody to know how happy I am to be your coach. And thank you guys for having me. Adam, we're always
bro.
talking and catching
Yeah,
up
man.
wherever we go.
No, and it's a bit of this is full circle because when I came back to LA, I was working in Bakersfield, got laid off, living with my family in one room in my cousin's house, and we were out in Norwalk, and I was just like, you know what? Let me make enough money not only to put food on the table for my family, get us into a secure situation, but also to train at CSW. So 4 years later, to have you on, to have interviewed your guys, it's been a humbling thing for me. It's an honor and a privilege. The fact that I'm wearing a CSW shirt all these years later, given to me by Ben Jones, it's incredible. So I thank you because you were motivating the hell out of me and didn't even know it.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it, man.
That's right. This is According to Woods, Dondo, Ben the Badger Jones, and this is Joey the Bull. We'll see you next week. Gym Crashers, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Check us out. Thank you, Joe. This is the Royal Ramble. Thank you,
Appreciate it,
buddy.
man.
Such a pleasure, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
And a